the video. A disappointing result, a missed opportunity, but only 1 point for United. I mean, we can't finish a bloody dinner. It was the same against bloody Ammonia. How many chances we had? About 30 attempts. And it was the same today. Obviously, much higher quality opposition than Ammonia. And we didn't have as many opportunities. But we had some huge opportunities in that match. Fresh, man. I tell you what, we win that game. We win that game if Christian Eriksen is instead of Fresh. Fresh, I love the boy, but Christ. He's alongside Casemiro, his fellow international compatriot, or whatever you call it. But yeah, he's alongside him. They play there for Brazil. He should know his game inside out. And still, Fresh is the bloody worst United player on the pitch, 100%. It's not even debatable. So you swap Fresh out, you put Christian Eriksen in, and we win that game every day of the week. But yeah, I will go through the player ratings. Obviously, there was another big chance for Marcus Rashford as well at the end. And we just you can't bloody finish the chances. It's scary now. We need a striker. I know Ronaldo didn't have that many opportunities when he was on the pitch. And to be honest, if Ronaldo stays on the pitch, he probably scores that. Well, he probably does score that header that Rashford had right at the very end. But on the contrary to that, we also don't have that chance that Fresh had because Rashford's running in behind off the shoulder of the last defender. He probably should have went for goal himself, to be fair, Rashford, but he lays it back unselfishly and then pulls it back to Fresh, and it was the wrong man. Could anyone in the bloody team other than Fresh to do that? I don't know why. He's got the whole of the goal to aim at, basically. He's only a defender in net. The keeper's no man's land, and he tries to bloody side foot it in the corner. What are you doing, my guy? What are you doing? So yeah, it's just a case of missed chances. Having said that, Newcastle should have scored as well in the first half. Joe Linton hitting the bar with a good header, and then the second one, De Gea's on the floor, anything on target, and it's a goal, and he hits the post. So Newcastle could have scored, should have scored as well. We should have had a penalty. Maybe there was one where it was 50-50 that Newcastle could have had a penalty, but our one was more 75. I mean, he's literally... I can't remember who the Newcastle player was now that fouled Sancho, but it was a foul. Yes, he went down a little bit theatrically, but it's a foul. Literally, his foot follows through, connects clearly with Sancho. Sancho goes down in the box. That's a penalty. 100%. So... we deserve to win that game, 100%. Newcastle, very good, very strong. They've conceded 9 goals in the Premier League in now, 11 matches. They conceded 3 against a City, but apart from that, been very, very solid. And they were difficult to break down. But we did break them down a few times. We created some good opportunities. Unfortunately, we waited until the 90th minute to create those opportunities. Like, we created 2 huge chances. 2 of them were bloody 75% chance, 80% chance of scoring. One fell to Fresh, the other fell to Marcus Rashford, and we didn't score either of them. Newcastle, like I say, you're not going to make many chances against Newcastle, but when you do, you have to take your chances. We didn't against Ammonia in the first leg, really. Well, we did. We scored 3-2. We didn't against Ammonia midweek on Thursday, and we didn't again today. So that is becoming very worrying for United. 2 games in a row where we've had a lot of chances. Well, not necessarily today, but we've created big chances and we haven't capitalised on that. I think there were some players that did well, others not too much. I mean, as soon as Fresh is out the team, thankfully Eriksen is injured. When I saw Christian Eriksen wasn't in the squad or the bench, I thought, bloody hell, this is... hopefully he's not injured. Obviously, he's not injured. It's just a case of that he's ill. Thank God, because if Christian Eriksen's out of the team for a significant period of time, this this, and we have to play either Scott McTominay or Frege, we are massively diminished as a team. Because Frege, what he does provide in energy, in terms of quality, it's not there. You can't just be energetic. That's not enough at the top level, is it? Let's be honest. But so I am going to go through the player ratings now. So David De Gea, obviously, Mr. 500, isn't he? 500 appearances. He got credited by Sir Alex Ferguson at the start. I think he was wearing gloves that had 500 written on it. It was a quiet one for him, to be fair. His distribution at times was really good and at times terrible. I think he kicked the ball out of play a few times, but other times he made like some really good passes. There was a time where he came off his line, so I think he has worked on coming off his line, which is an improvement. But in terms of his shot stopping, there's nothing to comment for the second or third game in a row. Like he hasn't pulled out a world class save, but it's not his fault. He hasn't needed to. So I'm just going to give him an average 6 today, De Gea. So I'm going to go Luke Shaw again. I thought he was pretty good. Very strong defensively. And going forward, I'm sure he contributed. One of the big chances came from him. I'm trying to think now. So the first one for... What am I saying? First big chance was for, Marcus Rashford. Who slipped in the ball? Who slipped Rashford the ball? I can't remember. But yeah, rounds the keeper. And then the second one, the ball in was by... I think it was it Bruno that put the ball in for the second? No, Casemiro obviously put the ball in for the second one. But I mean, Luke Shaw was better going forward. He's a better fullback than what Malacia is. Malacia is a bargain, but Luke Shaw is a better fullback. I'm not going to give him a crazy score, Luke Shaw, but I think he was decent today. I'm going to give him a 7. I think he was solid defensively. Martinez, very good again. He's always very good. He's great on the ball. He pings passes. His diags are ridiculous. His press resistance is ridiculous. Mate, he's my favourite United player. He's unreal. Very tenacious as well. Like he nips in front of He nips in front of strikers to win the ball, and then we can get on the front foot on the counter attack. I'm going to give him an 8. Varane, very good defensively. I think his distribution was pretty poor today, but very good defensively. There was times where he could probably put his foot on the ball, but instead he just hoofs it long. And some of the times he tried to play a diag and it would go out of play. So although he was very good defensively, like I said, his distribution probably knocks him down a bit. So I don't know whether I'm giving him a 7 or a 6. I give him a 6. Delo, I just wish he could put a bloody cross in. Like he was all right today. He found himself in some really good positions. Like it's great to see an attacking fullback getting forward, but there's some times where I wish he could put a cross in for one. And two, what was he doing where he found himself in a great position? He took on he found a space for a shot in the box, and then he pulls it back. Like I don't know what he was doing. He scored 2 on the international break for Portugal, and now he seems like he's scared to have a shot for United. Like he's clearly got a decent strike on him. Why doesn't he bloody shoot for United? I don't know. He just tries to do a little bit too much. But I don't think he was bad today by any means. But I don't think. I just wish he could cross the ball a bit better. I know it's difficult against Newcastle centre backs, to be fair, but not every ball has to be on like your player's head. If you can whip one in at like bloody volley height, that's also great. But unfortunately, we could create nothing from crosses today. So I'm going to give him a 6, I reckon. Oh, that's Varane. I'm going to give him a 6 to low. Going forward, the midfield 3. I'll go Casemiro first. Casemiro, he played more as a number 6 today, in Frege played as an 8. So a role that you associate more with Casemiro than what he has been playing recently. He's played more as an 8 for United recently, but with Frege alongside him today, he played as an 8. Casemiro more of a 6. Good Casemiro. I think the more he's played, he's stopped those sloppy balls. Casemiro really good. Obviously, putting that ball that with the outside of his foot where Rashford should have scored right at the very end there. But yeah, he's finding his feet, Casemiro. Took him a while to adjust, but now he is looking like a staple figure in that squad, and you can't take him out. So I'm going to give him in an 8, Casemiro. Frege, worst United player on the pitch, unfortunately. I do love Frege, but a smile on your face, being a happy guy is not going to cut it. Having a lot of energy is not going to cut it if you haven't got the quality. 2, bit generous probably. Bruno Fernandes, not that effective. Again, I can't remember a key pass. At least when if Bruno has a bad game and he's trying to be Hollywood Bruno, then it's a 1 or a 2. If Bruno has a bad game, like hasn't created any key passes, but is not being Hollywood Bruno, still maintaining possession, keeping a hold of the ball, like doing the right things, like doing the simple things, then his bad game is a lot better than a Hollywood Bruno bad game. And today he wasn't a Hollywood Bruno, but didn't create all that much. So I'm going to give him probably a 5. I think is fair. Sancho, he seems to still not be taking on his man. What he seems to do, he seems to square up, run at his fullback, kind of square him up, look like he's going to take him on, and then pass it inside. At least today, that's a lot more progressive than receiving the ball and then passing it backwards. At least Sancho did run at his man. He never took him on, but at least he passed it inside or passed to Luke Shaw on the overlap. So I don't think it was terrible today. It wasn't as bad as he was against who was it, against Ammonia, but still not fantastic. I'm going to go with I'll go with 5. I think the same as Bruno, I think, is the one. Same as Bruno. Now, right wing, I'll go with... So, Anthony, very bright. Very, very bright. I mean, he had... Was it... Who played bloody left back for them? Was it Dan Burn that he kept rinsing literally every time he got the ball? But yeah, he showed some good skills, created some decent opportunities. Had times where he'll beat his man, and then he showed his pace at numerous times as well to get beyond the fullback and create a chance. He definitely was the brighter out of the two, Sancho and Anthony. Anthony was far more dangerous. It does stop his run of consecutive goals in Premier League matches, however. But yeah, I think he was good. I think got to give him a 7. In Cristiano Ronaldo, not really his fault that he didn't do great today. Not really his fault. He didn't have a lot of service. His link-up play wasn't fantastic, though, to be fair. I'm just going to give him a 5. I would have also subbed him at the time, like a straight swap for Rashford. And we did create an opportunity in behind. However, he probably would have scored that goal right at the very end where the ball was played in. So, whether it was the right decision to take him off or not, I don't know. But it is going to be a long season. And with Martial not even making the bench today, you've got to manage his minutes as well. So, with Cristiano Ronaldo, I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10. I think is fair as well. Now, Marcus Rashford. Great running behind to create the opportunity for Frej. Should have scored right at the very end. So for that reason, did something really good. Should have got an assist. Did something that was quite poor. Should have scored. I'll give him an average 6. So average 6 for Rashford, the only sub. And then King Erik Ten Hag. I mean, interesting playing Sancho over Rashford to start. I think that's an interesting one, not one that I would have done. Apart from that, the team has to pick, well, it picks itself, doesn't it? Frej has to come in for Christian Eriksen. Well, I guess you could, like, Scott McTominay would have been a shout, but obviously he was suspended. So even though Frej has such a bad game, that's not Erik Ten Hag's fault for picking him, because he was forced into that option. Unless you're going to play someone like Zidane Iqbal, which you're not going to, are you, in such a big game at home. So he's coached a win. He's coached today, Ten Hag. He's grinded out a win, 1-0. And he can't finish the players' chances. I think we were the better team overall in the 90 minutes. So I'm going to give Ten Hag a 7, probably. I don't think it was bad, like I say. I think we played all right. I think Newcastle are a great team. They've only lost 1 game against City. I think he coached a winning side today. Unfortunately, we just can't finish the chances. So there we have it, folks. That is it for the match ratings. Please do give a like and a subscribe. Please do like the video and subscribe. We're only about 1,050 subs, so we're still very small on YouTube. So if you do sub, you'll be an OG of the channel. I'd appreciate you. Also, help the algorithm out, lads. You know, your little bit of help just by pressing that like. For a big channel, it doesn't mean anything. For this channel, it means a lot. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching. And I will see you next time, Wednesday, for the Spurs game. Ciao, ciao. Appreciate you guys. Leg ends. See you later.